Hi everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is going to be part 23rd of our Snowflake Zero to Hero series. And in this video, we will be discussing about the views. What are the type of the views we have in Snowflake and when we are going to use which one. So like if you're coming from a normal database background like SQL Server, Oracle, you might have already familiar with the terms of view. View is just like a virtual table which is going to store or which is basically allow you to query a data just like you are querying a normal table. So if in simple word, if I have to create I have one requirement where I have one table with around 100 of columns and with 1 million of records. Now in this one, if I just wanted to hide some column level or row level, like I wanted to implement some column level or row level security, I will be going for the view. And also, if what if I'm combining the data from multiple tables, and that is something I need to present to my reporting team so that they can use it for their dashboard purpose and report purpose, then I will be creating a views for them. To create a view in Snowflake, it's going to be very simple. So let me just show you. I'm gonna give into this particular database, YouTube Learning, and the raw layer. Right now, if I'll see, and if I'm going to run show views, this is how we can check it whether we do have any views or not. And right now I don't have any views. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create one select star from Snowflake sample data dot tpchsf1 and dot customer. Suppose this is one table I have and which is going to around have 150k records. I can see that in this view, I do have a multiple nations key, which is like the nation key. I can see it. Now, what if I just wanted only and only 15 and 30 nation key? And that data, the other data should also not be exposed to the other person or to the other customer. If I'm going to give it to this table only to the reporting guy or to anyone, then they will be writing select star from this customer, which may expose or like they will be basically getting the complete control or they will be able to see my entire data. In this case, what I'm going to do is I will just simply ask them that, okay, why don't you just query only this thing or Snowflake and then the nation key in 13 comma 15. Now if I'm going to ask them that, okay, you just need to query this data, but still they will not do it, right? They might be like thinking, okay, what if I'm going to check it for 1 to 14 or something. So what I'm going to do is I will be creating a view on top of it. So in this I can write create or replace if there's a view vw, and that is going to be like suppose like limited or probably like it's a US customer. I'm just assuming that this nation key 13 and 15th are from the US. So now after that, I need to write as means I'm going to wrap this entire definition in this view WS customer. So I'm going to create it and my view is created. Now I will be giving only and only the access of this view customer to my particular reporting team and they will be able to access the data. So this is how I can implement the some row level security. Why? Because I'm giving everything like select star. Now, what if there is a requirement that my team is saying that no, there should not be any need to expose this account balance? Just imagine that you are working you have one banking industry with you and there your manager said that these person who is just going to handle the customer tickets, they should not be exposed our credit card number and the account details, CVV and others. This is very sensitive data, so they should only and only be able to like get the information like the customer name, customer address and some last four digit. So basically, we just need to implement a column level security. In this case, what I'm going to do, I will be creating another view, create or replace view, and that is, let's say, it's going to be VWC customer. Suppose it's a column level security. So it's just a naming convention which you can follow whatever you want as per your wish. Now, after that, I am going to write select. Now, in the Snowflake, we have one more cool features that is a basically exclude keyword. So if you have hundreds of column and you want 90 of the column, then you do not need to explicitly mention select column 1, column 2, column 3 like column 19, and then you are going to miss those 10 column which you do not want in your definition. Rather than you're going to mention select star and then you're going to use keyword exclude, which is going to help Snowflake engine to understand that this column I do not need to select in my output. Okay, so which column? I do not want the account balance, and then I would be writing the Snowflake sample data tpchsf1 dot customer. And before creating this view, let me show you how this query output will look like. And you can see after this nation key, we have phone market segment comment, but we do not have the account balance because this is something I do not want to expose them. And because this after this account balance, the phone number is also very sensitive information, suppose, and I'm asking if he can hide it. Now I'm going to run this, and this is how my another view will be created, which is VWC customer. Now, in case if any of the user is going to query that, they will not be able to and they will not be able to see the account balance and the phone number for every single person. So here I was getting around 12,000 record because I implemented a row level security. Here I'm getting 150k record, but I'm not getting a phone number and the account balance. This is how you can implement a column level security. Similarly, if you need to join, let's say you wanted to get a nation key and all, then you will be joining this with a nation keywords. And that you wanted to hide. So means in case if there is a requirement to hide the complexity, what if you are getting a data from multiple tables and then doing some aggregation and all, that also you can hide with the help of views you can share with your reporting team. Now, understand few things. This view itself does not store any data. So whenever I'm going to query it, it's going to query this underline table first. So it's going to compile it. And if I'm going to make any changes in this table, then it will fail. Okay. So it does not store the data. That is why it is going to be some like performance issue would be there. So we can just see that if a query expression that return a valid digit can be used to create a non-metallized view. So either I'm going to create it as a normal view or a non-metallized view. It's going to be the same purpose. Now this one, the normal view. Okay, let me just jump to it. So it is not going to store the data. So no storage cost associated with it. Every time there is a change in the data, it will only and only going to refresh the data at the runtime. Okay, so if I'm going to query this VWC customer and underlying table has a customer, which if there is any change, then only at the runtime execution time it will get refreshed. Next we have is a metallized view. Forget about my spelling. Okay, so this metallized view, the one of the good advantage of having a metallized view in Snowflake is that it stores the data as if like it is storing for a table. So it most of the time it behave like a table only. Okay, suppose I do have this customer data and I'm trying to create a metallized view for the same, and here I'm writing MVW. And here, for creating a metallized view, I will be using the one keyword which is metallized. So the definition is going to be almost similar, except one extra keyword which is metallized, so that Snowflake engine will understand that the user want me to create one metallized view. Now, if I'm going to create this, and then I can simply will be querying it like as if it is going to be a. But this is going to store the data within memory, means you have to pay for the storage cost, and because it is storing the data, so that's why the performance will be much better than the normal view. Here we have 150K record, so you may not be able to understand, like you may not be able to observe a good performance. Like if you're going to compare it, there won't be a good difference. However, if you have millions of record and there is a requirement, the table is not getting changed very frequently, and also you wanted to perform some aggregations like a min max and all, then Materialized View will be a best choice. Okay, so understand, if the requirement is that you need to perform some aggregations, the table is also not very frequently updated, like it's not updating, and you are willing to pay some storage cost because you will be getting some compute benefits, means performance benefits, then you will be going for Materialized View. However, there is one limitation, one big limitation of Materialized View in the Snowflake, that is, let me show you. Suppose I am going to write one definition for you there. I'm writing C and okay, and that I'm joining inner join and on. Now, if I'm going to execute this query, this is going to give me an output. You can see it is taking 1.1 seconds. Now, if I'm going to create a Materialized View, so basically my entire requirement is to find out to perform some aggregation, or I can simply say I wanted to know the the nation-wise, let's say n dot nation, which is n dot name. Okay, dot count, and that I can write C cust key. So I wanted to find out the total number of people in every nation, and then I will be doing a group by all. Now, if I'm just running this select statement, this is going to give me an output, which is completely fine. And count of C customer, I can say the total people. Okay. But if I'm going to create this definition under this Materialized View, it is going to throw an error, and the error means, which is a limitation of the Snowflake, that invalid Materialized View definition, more than one table cannot be referenced in this in the Snowflake Materialized View. Okay, so understand, if you need a better performance, if you want to perform an aggregations, then Materialized View can be a good choice. But if there is a requirement to get the data from more than one table, then Materialized View will not be an option anymore. All right. Now, if you will run and show views, how will I know that whether this is a normal view or a Materialized View? I mean, I'm not getting anything over here, but if you'll scroll to the right, there is a one flag, it's is secure and is Materialized, and is Materialized is true. That means it is a Materialized View, and these two are the normal view. Now, you may be asking that, Vishal, you may be doing some mistake in the definition. That's why it is throwing an error. Can you please show us to create a normal view with this join or with the aggregation? Okay, let's see that. And if I can do this, vw1 underscore customer, whether it can work or not, let me run it, and you see this is going to be work. Okay, so understand few more things, that Materialized View are particularly useful when you wanted to query a result which is going to contain a small number of rows or column related to the base table. Second, you have some data in your external table, and because directly Snowflake is going to pull the data from the external storage area, so it will be a like a slower performance, and you wanted to optimize the performance, then you're going to suggest that I will be going for Materialized View. The third thing, when your base table does not change frequently, then the Materialized View will be a good choice. However, there is a one big limitation, that we cannot reference more than one table. All right, now, but Materialized View comes with a cost. It's not only just comes with the compute cost, but it comes with the storage cost also, because it is going to store the data in memory, and that is the reason Materialized View is a bit faster than the normal view. Second, This Materialized View is basically kind of a serverless, not kind of, it's completely serverless. So whenever we are going to update the data in the backend only, it is going to refresh it. So you see the Snowflake perform automatic background maintenance of Materialized View. Whenever a base table changes, all Materialized View defined on the table are updated by a background service that use compute resources provided by Snowflake. That means serverless. Okay, so now consider the main differences between these two by like this table. So in Materialize View, can we query from multiple table? Answer is no, but in normal view, yes. Support for self-join, Materialize View does not provide it, but normal view provide it. Pre-computed data set, yes, because pre-computed data set means if my table get updated, then Snowflake serverless feature will be updating that query, updating the data in the backend and going to store in the memory. So you will be having a good query performance. Now the storage cost in Materialize View, yes, you have to give it because it's a pre-computed data set, but in normal view, you do not need to pay for the storage cost. And the compute cost charged only when you are querying it. The normal view, only when you are querying, then only you will be paying a compute cost. However, the Materialize View, it charges on based how many times your table is getting updated. So if any one of you think that if I'm updating any of the table, which is going to impact the definition or is it going to refresh the data, then if it is a Materialized View, then automatically it can. But if it's a normal view, it will refresh only when you are going to query that. Now, there is one more thing which I wanted to show you guys. When I run the show views command, you might have observed one thing which is secure. This is false. What does it mean? And when I'm going to use this is secure view? That's a very important question. And most of the time, interviewer will be try to understand whether your fundamental is clear or not. Okay, so let me show you one thing first. If I'm going to write select start from, let's say, yeah, VWUS customer, when I'm going to execute this, it took 1.6 seconds. I'm going to share this view with reporting guy or with, let's say, different people. Now, if they will go into the query ID to find out or to basically understand the query profile, then in this, they can get to know about it that this is one of my view which is created on this particular table and I am taking all 8 out of 8 columns. That means the view definitions along with how what are the columns they have and what are the tables we have, it's basically getting exposed to the users, is getting exposed to the other person. Okay, so non-secure view, some of like the view definition is visible to the other user. They can even like check it. If I'm going to write show views, right now it is going to visible because I am the account admin and I am the owner. But even if I'm going to give an access to the Power BI developer role, and then when he is going to do it, this text will be visible. But if I'm making it a secure view, then he will not be able to access this definition. Now the question comes how I'm going to create it and when should we create it. So first, let me try to show you to create the same secure view. For that, you just need to use the keyword secure and I'm going to write SVW1 and going to create with the same definition. Because my main motive is just to show you how it works. Now I'm going to write a select start from SVW1 and if you sorry, and if you will open this query ID, then you see there is nothing, no other object information that from which table you are trying to get it, how many column you are accessing it, there is nothing information related to it. Okay, so if you have like basically secure view, if you wanted to particularly designated for data privacy, and you wanted to limit access to the sensitive data that should not be exposed to all user of the underlying tables, then you will be going for secure view. But do not just go for the query convenience and you are even like blindly creating a secure view. Then this is not going to benefit, because secure views can execute more slowly than the non-secure views. Okay, so you may see a performance impact if you are going to create every view as a secure view. Second, if you wanted to share perform data sharing in Snowflake, then you can only and only perform with the secure view. So if there is a non-secure view, that you cannot share in your data sharing part. All right, so that's it for today. I hope you have a good understanding of the views and when you are going to use which views, what is the cost associated with them, and if I wanted to hide everything like a base table information and other definition, they should not even able to get the definition even when they are going to run a get DDL command or show views command, then I will be going for secure view. So if you really like this video, then give a thumbs up and share with your friends.